Hey everyone, welcome back to another Diablo 3 video. In this video, I'm going to go over a Barbarian Whirlwind Rend build. So essentially this is going to utilize the Waste set and your Rend ability. So this set is pretty good with speed farming, T16 Bounties and Rifts, and it is also pretty good at running greater rifts, 90s, 100s, etc. for just general farming. There's very little variation between the T16 build and the GR build. So I'm going to go over the T16 build first, and then I'm going to go over the GR build as well. I'm utilizing the waist set pieces. So it's going to be the boots, the pants, the chest, the helmet, and the gloves. And then inside the armor pieces, I have diamonds for resistance, and then the helmet is for the cooldown. As far as shoulder piece, I have mental channeling. Pretty much this allows you to do more damage when you whirlwind, and it allows you to take less damage. Amulet, I'm using Scorch Necklace. So using this, it allows you to do double damage. Then I have these arm guards. So whenever you destroy a wreckable object, you gain a short burst of speed. So this is primarily only for the Torment 16 because it's just going to make you go extremely fast. Then I have, for the ring, I have Rachel's Ring of Larceny. You gain more movement speed after fearing an enemy. And then I have the Ring of Royal Grandeur. This allows you to have one less set piece equipped, and it'll take place for one. Now, the issue I ran into specifically with this is you would normally want to use this in your cube right here, and you would wear the Band of Might. However, I had one cubed, and I haven't been able to get another Band of Might. So you could interchange these two. Generally, you'll get better rolls from Band of Might. So just keep in mind that whatever you have slotted in the jewelry piece can be interchanged depending on, whatever is better, what you have available, etc. And then the belt is going to be Lamentation. So pretty much Rend stacks up more times and the damage is increased by a certain amount of percent. So it goes anywhere from 100 to 150%. This is a very low roll. I'm going to get into my gear stats in just a minute after I go over the basic gear that I have. Weapon I have is Echoing Fury. So slaying enemies engulfs the wielder into a frenzy. So pretty much just helps you with the increased attack speed and I believe movement speed too. I could be wrong though. But this generally makes the speed farming quite a bit faster. Then I have Ambul's Pride is attacking with Whirlwind, also applies Rend, and the total damage of Rend is dealt over 1 second. As far as legendary gems, I have Bane of the Trapped, Taeguk, and Boon of the Hoarder. So the Trapped is pretty much you do a lot more damage, you reduce the enemy's movement speed, and then Taeguk, you do increased damage as you're channeling, so as you're using Whirlwind, you get more damage, and you also get more armor for every stack. Boon of the Hoarder, pretty much whenever you kill an enemy, gold drops. Whenever you pick up gold, you gain a 30% increase movement speed for 2 seconds. You'll be getting gold, and as you are spinning around, you're going to be breaking a bunch of objects, so that's also where these arm guards come into play with helping you go even faster. Then the Rachel's Ring of Larceny just gives you even more increased movement speed. Now, let's say if you feel like the build is feeling a little too weird or even moving a little too fast for you, you could even drop this ring and go with like Convention of Elements or just something. You could even probably do Stone of Jordan even. Or you could even just choose whatever would suit your needs. It's honestly all preference, really. Don't take this as like a you have to completely follow this. I'm just saying what I use. And then in the cube, I already went over the jewelry piece. So you normally want Ring of Royal Grandeur in here, but if not, it would either be Band of Might or let's say if you do Rachel Ring of Larceny in here, as long as you're using these 3 rings, or you could swap out the Rachel ring. And then I have Gold Wrap, which as you pick up gold, you get more armor. And then with this mixed with Boon of the Hoarder, you're going to be really tanky. Like you shouldn't die with this build. Then you have Reaver, which reduces the remaining cooldown of one of your skills by 1 second when you slay an enemy. So this helps with all your cooldowns. Alright, so that's the gear. That's the gems I have, the legendary gems. Oh yeah, and sorry, and the weapons. I have emeralds for the extra crit damage. Next is what you want on your gear. So please keep in mind, my gear is far from perfect. I have a lot of intelligent stuff on my gear too. So this this gear is not optimal whatsoever. So me being able to do this means if with properly rolled gear, you should be able. Just about anyone can do it, and I don't have any ancient pieces on me either. So anyway, again, Scorch Necklace. See, I have intelligence on here, but primarily you'd want physical damage, crit, crit. The arm guards, you want physical damage, crit, and then see how I have intelligence. That should be strength, but like I said, I'm just using what I got. Helmet, I'm just going with the strength, vitality, and crit. Mantle channeling, your shoulder piece. See how I even have intelligence on that. That's from the wizard that I use, but ideally you would have the strength on there, but you want the cooldown and you could get attack speed. And then the gloves, you want crit, crit, cooldown, attack speed. And if these were ancient, you could augment it. Clearly these aren't, but this is what I have. So with the belt, you want strength as well as survivability, so vitality, armor, all resist, all that kind of stuff. Same thing with the pants, same thing with the boots. And then for the weapons, you want to prioritize cooldown on your weapons, and then you could just do, strength and then damage. See, on this Echoing Fury, I even have intelligence on here, so what I have is not optimal whatsoever. And then for the rings, you would want crit, crit, and then damage range or even attack speed. Again, it's whatever you can have that drops. And see, again, with this one, like I only have 27 crit damage. I have intelligence on this ring. Then on this ring, I have intelligence and double crit. So lot of room to work with. And even still, with all my gear being pretty bad and not having much good stats, this build is pretty nice. All right, so now skills. As far as where you want to assign your skills, that's pretty much up to you because everyone has different play styles, different preferences. So I'm just going to go over the skills I have in general, not too much on where it's placed on my skill bar. So I have Furious Charge, Merciless Assault. Then I have Whirlwind, Wind Shear. Then I have Rend, Blood Rush. Ignore Pain, Bravado. Sprint, Marathon. Wrath of the Berserker, Insanity. Then for passives, Nerves of Steel, Rampage, Boon of Bolcathos, and Unforgiving. So those are the skills. Now, pretty much how you go about it is you're going to be Furious Charging into enemies as you go, or you just force move, however you want to go about it. But you also have your Sprint, which this allows you to run faster. And then you have Ignore Pain, which protects you from most damage. This gives you more movement speed. And then you have your Rend to apply. You usually use this if you have trouble with like elites and whatnot, but usually for T16, you generally won't have to use this too much. And then Wrath of the Berserker, you just get a whole bunch of damage. And the point of this, with the cooldown that you stack, you should be in your Berserker form the whole entire time, and at least close to no downtime on it. But yeah, so keep in mind, like the way I play this build, it could be played a lot better. I'm really clunky with it. So yeah, that's the overview on the gear, the roles, and the skills that I have. So if you clicked on this video just for that information, feel free to click out now. If you want to know the Greater Rift build, feel free to skip to that part, but I'm going to do a demonstration with a normal Rift, and then I'll go over the Greater Rift. Alright, so I'm in here. I'm going to use my Wrath, use my Sprint. Everything dies pretty easily. It's a bad map too. I use my Rend on that pack. I don't think it's really necessary, especially in the Torment 16, but it's very easy. So my Wrath ran out right when the cooldown was reset, so I was able to reapply it immediately. Back into Wrath. I keep going the wrong way. These maps aren't the best either, and it's overall very bad map. It's a very simple build though. Literally just spin around, charge at things. Wow, this is a terrible map. Alright, so now the Greater Rift farming build that I have. So one good thing is not much has really changed. All you really changed is your bracers and your shoulder pieces and your rings and then some stuff in your cube. So with this, you're going to drop the mantle channeling and actually have the waist shoulder pieces on. Then you're going to drop the arm guards that give you burst of speed and use Mortix and Brace instead, because this allows you to get every rune on Wrath of the Berserker. And you're going to use Focus and Restraint. And then you will switch Echoing Fury for Ingium instead. You could argue using Echoing Fury would still work. I honestly say this is more of a preference thing. If you prefer Echoing Fury, then feel free to use that instead. But if you prefer to use Ingium, then switch to the Ingium. And then for the cube, I have Band of Might and then Mantle of Channeling. So since I'm not wearing it anymore, it's going to be in here instead of the gold wrap, because since you're going to be in a Greater Rift, gold doesn't drop, so that's how it gets replaced. And then your weapon will be the Furnace. You do increased damage against elites. Now, depending on your damage and your Paragon, obviously, you might not even need the Furnace. You could probably still run with Reaver. That's completely up to you. Or if you even want to use either Echoing Fury and then have Ingium, or use Echoing Fury on your character and have Ingium in here, just go ahead and play around with it and go with whatever works best for you. Again, this is all just what I run, and just to give others ideas. So yeah, as far as skills, the skills stay the same: Furious Charge, Merciless Assault, Whirlwind, Wind Shear, Rend, Bloodbath, Ignore Pain, Bravado, Sprint Marathon, Wrath of the Berserker. And sorry, the passives do change though. I believe only 2 of them change, but anyway, the passives will be Nerves of Steel, Rampage, Boonable Kathos, and Pound of Flesh. So yeah, that's the gear that you use. As far as gems, so the gems stay the same, except for Boon of the Hoarder. You're going to switch that out for Molten Wildebeest Gizzard. So this pretty much allows you to have a shield, which helps keep your Squirt Necklace ability up. So as far as what you want rolled on the gear, it's going to be the crit, physical damage, cooldown, attack speed, and obviously you don't have intelligence like I do. You want strength, but like I said, I'm using what I got. So yeah, if you clicked only for the gear, then that's it. And if you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. It's very much appreciated. And if you want to stick around to see how it is in a Greater Rift 100, then feel free to stick around. And yeah, let's get to it. Make sure to use my Rend. These guys are shielding. There we go. This would be a lot better too if I actually had the stats I needed rolled onto my gear, but still relatively a strong build. I even went the wrong way. Okay, not too bad. Still under 3 minutes. Took me 2 minutes 33 seconds. Yeah, those are the builds I would run for T16 Bounties, Rifts, and Greater Rift farming. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.